Hello, my friends. My name is Darren Gerdes, and this is the Daily Brief. 1,210 Russians off the battlefield. That's actually a low, and it feels so weird to say that 1,210 is low because that used to be a high, but given the scale of fighting in the last week, it's low. 13 tanks off the battlefield, 43 armored combat vehicles, 36 artillery pieces, 65 vehicles and fuel tanks. So the fighting's still heavy. 1210 is a low for the week, though. Wow. Okay, so let's look at this. This is Andrew Perpetua. It's about 1.5 or 2 to 1 Russian losses to Ukrainian losses. Not a great number. I'd like to see over 3 to 1 before I'm happy about the fighting statistics that he shows. Ukraine war briefing. Russia's Kharkiv offensive may only be the first wave, Zelensky warns. Ukrainian president admits that his army lacks enough troops, and that's true. The mobilization bill was just signed into law today, or yesterday, or whatever, and has only 25% of the defenses it needs as Russia advances northeast. Now, that 25% of what they actually need to defend themselves is really important because that is why they're advancing. And they can't slow them down and put just people in the way either. Okay, almost 10,000 people have been evacuated from the border area of the Kharkiv region. Ukraine's emergency services reported 9,900 people have been evacuated. 2,500 people have been evacuated from Vovchansk. Vovchansk has taken it in the nose. It's one of the closest places to the Russian border. It now looks like this. This is how the Russians liberate. Okay. Russian troops intend to get closer to Kharkiv with tube artillery range because if they can get close enough, they want to do what they see here, what they did to Vovchansk. They want to do that to Kharkiv proper, but they have to get closer, so they have to keep moving forward. Okay. Russian drones attack 2 energy infrastructure facilities at night. And so they keep doing this kind of thing. It was only 2. This was pretty small as an attack. And the Ukrainians are doing this to the Russians as well. A massive fire has broken out at an electrical substation in the Russian port city of Novorossiysk. Authorities claim that the cause is unknown. How about that? The cause is unknown. We don't know why it broke out. Careless cigarette. But the residents reported hearing drones. Okay, this is the British intelligence update. It was talking about what happened on May 14th. That's earlier in the week. Ukraine military conducted attacks on Russian military targets, and they were talking about SA-21 air defense battery at Belbek airfield and attacking planes and things along those lines. I just want to read the last paragraph. It's highly likely that this will lead to Russia having to disperse air assets to ensure survivability or risk losing more aircraft. That's exactly what they're going after. And to the degree that they have more and more of these successes, you'll see that happen. Last little bit I want to show you is, I thought this was an interesting meme. I don't think it's quite right, but it feels like that. Russia's about 3 to 1 in people, and it's got double or triple the economy that Ukraine has, which is not that significant. I mean, the economy's larger, right? I mean, it's not a 3 to 1. The people is only about 3 to 1, and about 10 million people have fled out of the country. So it's a little bit larger than 3 to 1 now. What's interesting about this is it feels like this big David and Goliath story, but Russia's really incredibly weak for its size comparatively. Like when you think about the size of what it is, like, okay, it's got an economy roughly the size of Italy. Like, think about that. Look, you know where Italy is on the map, the little boot. Its economy is roughly the size of Italy. For all this, like, it's terribly inefficient at what it does. I suppose that's where I'm going for. Nevertheless, it looms over Ukraine, and Ukraine is giving it the fight of its life. All right, thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.